Hello again, my lovely students. I am Miss Mariam Emad, a mathematics teacher, and today we will complete exponents and radicals. So, what is the root? The root is the inverse operation of the exponents. The inverse or the opposite operation of the exponents. Let's take example. You know that 5 to the power 2 equals 25. The inverse operation or the opposite, if you take root 25, it will be 5. Back again to its form, it's 5. So, power 2, the inverse of it is square root. So the inverse of it is square root. So this is 5 square. The inverse of it, square root 25, it will be 5. So, what about the cube? So, what is the cube? Cube is power 3. So, what is the inverse of it? Cubic root. Okay. And what about the to the power 4? Its inverse is 4th root. And by the same way, to the power 5, its inverse 5th root, and so on. So, how can I write the root? So, I can write it as a fraction power. So, for example, if I have a square root 25, so it's like 25 to the power half. So, by the way, it's 2, but it's hidden. So, the square root of 25, I can write it as 25 to the power half. So, what about the cubic root to the power 1 over 3? What about the 4th root to the power 1 over 4? So, the general rule is nth root. I can write it as 1 over n. It's to the power 1 over n. So, the general rule is the nth root. I can write it as to the power 1 over n. Okay? Let's take example like square root of x. I can write it as it's x to the power half. Cubic root of x. So, it's x to the power third. Okay? What about this one? So, it's x to the power 2. All to the power. So, cubic root, I can write it as 1 over 3. So, all to the power 1 over 3. And we know x to the power 2, all to the power 1 over 3, I can multiply the powers. So, it's x2 over 3. I can write it as it's x to the power 2 over 3. Okay? So, and I can make it again to its 4. So, if I have x2 over 3, I can write it as it's x to the power 2 multiply 1 over 3. So, it's x to the power 2 inside cubic root. Easy? Okay, so let's solve this example. So, here, 4th root of x to the power 5. So, x to the power 5, all to the power, how can I write the 4th root? 1 over 4. So, it's x to the power 5, all to the power 1 over 4. So, I can write it as it's x to the power, multiply the powers, 5 over 4. So the answer is C. It's x to the power 5 over 4. Okay? Let's take another example. And it's so important example. So the expression is 25 to the power 2x over root 5 to the power x. It's equivalent. What are the meaning of equivalent? It's equals to 5 to the power kx. Find the value of k. So let's solve the first step. 25 to the power 2x. So what is the meaning of 25? It's 5 to the power 2. Good job. So we can write 25 as it's 5 to the power 2 all to the power 2x. So let's write it. Here, it's 5 to the power 2 all to the power 2x. So, simplify it, multiply the powers. So it's 5 to the power 4x. Over what? Over root 5 all to the power x. How can I write root 5? It's 5 to the power half. Good job. So I can write this one as it's 5 to the power half all to the power x. And I can multiply the powers also. So it will be 5 to the power x over 2. So now I have this 4. I have 5 to the power 4x over 5 to the power x over 2. And then, it's at the same base. Do you remember? It's at the same base, so keep the base. And it's division, so you have to subtract the powers. So you have to subtract 4x minus x over 2. Okay. And then, what about 4x minus x to the power 2? So you can take x as a common factor. So it's 5, x is a common factor, and 4 minus half. So 3.5, which is 7 over 2. So it's 5 to the power x, 7 over 2. It's equivalent to 5 to the power kx. So k equals 7 over 2. So the answer is 7 over 2. So 5 to the power 7 over 2x is equivalent to 5 to the power kx. So k equals 7 over 2. I hope you understand it. Let's take another example. And this is so important example, so focus with me. Square of a. How can I write the square of a? It's a to the power 2 is equal. So equal. Cube of b, so it's b to the power 3. So you have this important note. A to the power 2 equals b to the power 3. Okay? What else? What value of x is square root a to the power x equals to b? So I have another one. So square root a to the power x equals b. So if I see b, I can remove it and write instead of it a square root a to the power x. Okay, so how can I write this one? Yeah, good job. I can write it as it's a to the power half x equals b. Okay, keep it. And what about this one? So this one is a to the power 2 equals b to the power 3. I wanted b without power 3, so I can take a cubic root for both sides. So let's take cubic root for both sides. So it will be cubic root a to the power 2 equals cubic root b to the power 3. And it's inverse. The cubic root with the cubic remove each other and it will be b. So it's cubic root a to the power 2 equals b. And how I write this one? It's a to the power 2 over 3. Because cubic root means 1 over 3 multiplied by 2, so it will be 2 over 3 equals b. So use these two equations and equal them. So it's b equals a to the power half x and b equals a 2 over 3. So this quantity equals to this quantity. So a to the power half x equals a to the power 2 over 3. So it's at the same base and the powers are equal. So have x equals 2 over 3 by inverse operation. X equals 2 over 3 multiply 2 over 1, which is 4 over 3. Value of x is 4 over 3. I hope you understand it well. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next video. We will complete and we will solve together. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.